What's going on, everybody? Who's having a great day, great night, wherever you're watching this from. Really quick, I kind of feel like a lot of us, we're exhausted. We're exhausted with what is taking place in our life, within our relationship. And, a lot of things just feel like they're one-sided. At some point, you have to step up to the plate. You have to be responsible for your actions. You can't continue to make excuses for the reason um, why you cannot be compassionate, why you cannot, show love, why, you cannot be there emotionally for the person. Because eventually, they become exhausted just as well as you, but they continue to let you know that they care and that they love you. Now, let me say this. You cannot expect for the things that you do and the things that you say to outweigh, your actions. Your actions, they mean everything. Words, they're nothing more than raindrops. That's all they are. They come and go. But your actions, they will outweigh everything that you all have and where you all at. So when a person says they need your time, they don't need your gifts. They don't need your words. They need your action. They need for you to be understanding. They don't need for you to reject everything that they say. They don't need you to accuse them of the reason why you cannot do the things that you're supposed to do, or, constantly fight against, what's really taking place within your relationship. You have to find a common denominator. You have to be able to talk things out. You have to be able to think about them besides yourself. You have to realize that your time in their life matters. And anytime anybody else gives them more time than you, then eventually you're not even going to matter. If you're spending more time away and you're spending more time doing other things away from the person that you love, it's not going to do anything but create a distance. And you're going to wonder why in the world you all cannot communicate the way that you used to. But yet still you say that you love each other, you care about each other. And to be honest with you, I've always been that kind of person where I'm not really fascinated over gifts. I've never been that kind of person. If you buy me something, it's the thought of it, that's all right. But I've never been the kind of person that's fascinated over what a person really gives me. But them giving me their time and us spending quality time together will outweigh everything within my life, because I realize that is the most important details that I've missed out in my life. I've had a lot of relationships. I ain't saying a lot of relationships where I was involved with a lot of people, but I've had enough relationships to know that time means everything, and that the time that you give the individual that you love will always outweigh everything else in life. Time is something that we can never get back. It is the makeup of what we desire, what we need. The time that you've wasted on something, you will never get that time back. You just wasted time on something. The time that you've wasted in relationships where people never was able to evolve. They were never able to give you what you needed. Well, it's sad to say, you wasted your time in a relationship that led to a dead-end road. Yeah, you've learned some things, they've learned some things, and they probably regret even you walking out of their life. But yet still, that time that you desire and you need is what's most important when it comes to your relationship and your marriage. We're always missing the key components when it comes to us building something. Don't get me wrong, communication, being affectionate, talking about the details of what you all desire, planning, building, but the time that you spend together will be able to bring everything together. Sometimes you just need to get in the room and just sit there and just talk to each other. No cell phones, no music, no distractions, no kids, no nothing. Sometimes you need to just ride in the car, turn the music off, and just talk to each other. Sometimes you need to go to the park and just walk, leave your cell phones in the car or the truck, and just spend quality time together. This is something that will not only bring harmony and peace and tranquility within your relationship, but it will also allow you all to iron out your differences and see exactly, wow, we can actually love, we can actually get along. But if you never have that time for each other, then how do you expect for the relationship to blossom and grow? A lot of us have been here. We have given our heart away to people that only wanted to take up space within our life, that only wanted us to be a part of their life. And they loved us, they genuinely did, but they was never able to reciprocate the love. So with them not being able to reciprocate love, express love, then how can they give you the time? Because for some reason they get bored. They have ADHD, they get bored very easily. So whenever you're able to give them time, you really can't give them the time or the time that you desire, because you all's communication and what you all are talking about goes over their head. And it's just the way most relationships are. You know, I really don't understand, how we got to this place or how we get to this place. But I know more than anything else that the time that you spend with the individual will make up for everything. The time that you give them will always outweigh everything else within their life. The bad times, the times that they couldn't understand, the arguments y'all had a few days ago. I promise you, if you give them time and you give them quality time to not only sit there and look at them or sit there and your thoughts wander off somewhere else and communicate with them, watch where your relationship and your marriage can go. It won't do anything else but grow from here. All right? Need you all to think about that. Last but not least, always remember, this is on the moment of your life. God is bigger than this moment, and that's the reason why we got to continue to press. Have a blessed, wonderful day.